Okay, so good morning and good evening, everybody, and welcome back in today's class. Today we are on the day number 24, and we are covering our topic called on the client script. Okay, so yesterday we started this journey of the client script, and today we are going to be complete those two part. Okay, let's understand the next part in the client script. Okay. So now yesterday what we discussed that a client script can be work on the four types. Number one, on change, on load, on submit, and on cell edit. Two, we completed on submit and on load. Now we are going to be discussed on change and on cell edit. Okay, so let's say LNG, LNG, LNG. I want to be run on the table called, let's say change table, change underscore request. Okay, and this time I want on change. See, this two has a different meaning. Let me show you the meaning that why these two are the different things. We are here on the client side, not here, here on the client side, this and on change, this one. Okay, so what this on change says, it says it run when a selected field change on the form level. Okay, then you will say, Atul, what is the on cell? Because if we speak from the Excel perspective, we say cell means a column. So what is the meaning here? Let me open this thing again and let me go to the incident. And let's open the change. And let me click on the open. If you want to make a change here on the list view, then it is called the on cell edit. But if you want to make a change on the form view here, then it is called the on change, not on cell. So don't get confused. Again, this question can be asked in the interview as well. Not from the examination perspective, but from the interview perspective, I'm telling you. What is the difference between on cell and on cell edit and on change? So now let's try with the on change. So what this means, on change has this function. And let's understand this function, what it says. See this show fixes. Okay, this one. So what it says, so if I go here and I'm changing, let's say I'm changing this value from hardware to system software. I am changing the value of the category. It means this particular, how the system will know that value has been changed. It means there is some previous value and there is a new value. Only then you can compare, right? If I show you this example, let's say I mention A plus B. Okay. I said what was the earlier? You said Atul, plus was there. And now this is like this, A plus B. Earlier it was plus like this. So system should know that what was the previous value and what is the new value. If both value will be same, if I remove this and add this, is there any difference happen in this statement? No, Atul, there's no difference. Why? Because you did not change anything. It was earlier also it contained the plus icon. You just delete and you just add it again, but it is again a plus icon you added. This is what the on change says. So what this function says, I have a control. I have an old value. I have a new value. I have a is loading. I have a is a template. To understand this part, let's go to the book here. Because these 5 parameters has some meaningful impact. What is the meaning of the control here? What is the control parameter or control attribute contained here? Control says the dynamic HTML of the field has changed. Means there is some value getting changed on the runtime in the field level in the field. That is a controlling part. What is the old value? I'm storing in the old value place. What is the new value? I'm storing the new value attribute. Is loading. Are you changing the value of any field at the time of the load? So you say yes or no, true or false. Let's say I logged in a website where I have an account. When I'm loading that page, it says, hello, Mr. X, you are Mr. or you are senior citizen. Or it converting my date of birth to my age. It means the value is getting changed, but is on the run time, is at the loading time. This is what is the loading says. And is the template. Now what happened there? There's a concept in ServiceNow that is called the templatization. Means you can create some samples or you can create some templates and you can use that. What I can suggest you, if you're working in a operation domain, maybe change manager, maybe incident manager, then go through and check the templates. Even though if you're not working in that domain, still I'll say go and check the template and what is the meaning of the template and how template can be utilized. Okay, it is a good concept. Template is one of the good option or good functionality in ServiceNow which can help to reduce the rework as well. Template is kind of a Xerox copy where once you get Xerox, just cross something and you can add your new value on the top of that. This is not the part of our discussion, so I'll not go in that particular part, but it is so easy to understand. You can go and check it or you can explore this functionality easily. So it's saying that maybe I am changing the value via template. Let me show that how it's saying. There's an option here called template, toggle template bar. If I click on this template, then you will notice something. See, these are the icons come, right? This checkbox. It means this assignment group. It means these values are getting changed via template. Then also you want to show the message or you want to do some operation, you can say yes or no. So here it's saying is the template, and what it's saying again mention true or false, that if any template come and change the value, do you want to show this message or do you want to show this operation? You can say yes or no. This is what the meaning of the on change, but it only and only work when us, and it doesn't mean that in a single on change script you can put 3 or 4 fields. No, if you want to do any operation, you have to be create multiple on change scripts, so that because this script run on a single variable. Let me show you here. I said on change, so now it's saying what is the field name. On the on change I want to do on the, let's say, category. If I am changing the category, then I want some operation to be done. It says if is loading new value is equal, then do nothing. This is the meaning of this particular line. This is an and, this pipe is an and symbol, I guess. Okay, now what we'll do, let's try to, or let's write our code here, written here, and let's say alert it will not work because we already have a written earlier. Why it's not working alert like this? ALERT, right? Spelling to ठीक है. Let's take it this outside. Okay, now let's save this. And now let's get a new change. List dot. Let's see if it worked for us or not. Wait. Closed. What are the closed only? Yeah. Let's see this one change. Now, if I change the category, let's say new to, I'm putting service. So my alert is working. Maybe you don't want user should change this thing. So you can put some message, you can put some info message, you can put some error message. But the only thing is that this particular function is required to run this complete thing. So this is a standard one. And then you can write your code. Or maybe we can say G underscore form, or that's fine. OK, maybe let me show you some example here. How to write this script example on change. This one. So what it's saying, let's say like this. Let me copy and show you this example. OK. And let's format the code. So what it's doing, it's saying that switch the new value and case is a network. Then set the urgency as a 1. It is running on the this thing. New value is network. OK, it is running on the category. What is our category? We have a category called. Chalo, we have this thing. So this code will work for us. So now what is be happening? Let me save and show you what we are doing now with this particular script. So it says if the new value is a network, then urgency should be 1. If the new value is database, then urgency is 2. If new value is something else, then urgency is 3. Now let's try this. Do we have urgency field here? No, let me bring urgency field first. This is what a developer need to be understand, that how quickly I can bring this field and understand all these things. See. And this is what the PDI do actually. You can do any kind of R&D. Sometime what happened in a practical example, I'm saying we never ever try a fresh thing in our official instance. First, we try to do some R&D on the PDI. So now it says if category is network, if category is network, then hello, and urgency did not change. Why? Urgency 2. Why did not changing? Sorry, network urgency 1. It did not changing urgency. Is it? Let's see on which table they have a code. On the incident table. So maybe we have to be changed the, but we have a category as well, the same thing. The case category, let me see what is the right value here. See capital N. Let's try to do this part. Network and let's say telecom. And we have a on category, on change category. That's fine. Hope it should work for us now. If we are on the right track, let me hide this. Hello. And save. And now let's go and reload this form once so that the fresh policy should be applied here. Now let's come and change the telecom. Now you can see it become medium 2. Why? Because it says if telecom, then 2. Now if you select network, it 1. And now if you select other than this, it 3. So now you get to know that how the value changes in the runtime on the form level. Let the same simple example. If age is less than 18, I want it should populate minor. If age is between 18.1 to 59.11, it should be adult. If age is more than 60, it should be major. Simple. So you can do this functionality easily on the on change part. Clear everybody? Any doubt? Any question? Okay. Now let's proceed to the last section of this client script. And that is called on cell edit. If you want to do or if you want to restrict some operation on the list view, let's say I go here and I'm creating a new client script. Click new. And let me now come to the change here so that we know later on that we have to do this thing. Open and leave. Okay. Now LNG, I put it there. Table change underscore request. This thing text up and on cell edit. Same thing that on which cell you want to edit it. I'm saying I want to be edit on the category. Let's say on the category. Let's say on the urgency. Okay. Now same thing work here as well, but here with the sys ID it work. It work the sys ID, and here the important point is that callback. Let's proceed here for the better understanding. I'm true if I instead of giving the wrong information, better to follow the above. So what it says that this particular function contain again the 5 parameters: sys IDs, table, old value, new value, and the callback. Sys ID, all of the sys ID, unique ID of the record being edited in an array. So here it work as an array. If you are still in your college life and you're learning this concept, array is a collection of records. That is called the array. So what it says, why sys ID? Because if I go here and I want to be update this, so I am updating one value on this. This is an array 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm containing these records in these fields in a one array only. So I need a sys ID that which field you are changing. Let me add urgency here so that we can do our operation. Okay. This one. So to keep the record of the sys IDs, I'm keeping the array here. Sorry, to keep the array here, right? Now table. On which current table you're editing this record? Maybe I am editing a record which is belong to some other table. I'm changing a user record. I'm changing a requested by record. I'm changing something else. So I have to keep a track that which table I'm making a change. Old value, new value is the same concept. Callback is important. What is the meaning of the callback? If I click, let's say I make a change here as a 1. And if I click on this OK, and I don't want this operation should be saved in database, then I have to be callback everything. I don't want this record or this update should be saved in the database to be, then I have to be call back the changes because it is a client side. Once user click on the OK, or cancel only, then the operation can be performed. So this is what the callback says. And it can be a true or false parameter. Do you want to call back or you don't want to be callback? And say callback save and close. Means if I am okay, yes, I want user should perform this action, then it should be automatically work. Written as a true. So it goes as a true and callback. Ultimately, it's nothing. It's a callback is a function which calling this parameter. Its containing value is a true. This is the functionality. Because not a technical guy, so tough to be explained in the functional language. Now I want, let's say example here, because this book give a good example on that part as well. Testing client scripts here. How to do, how and when to write. On cell edit. This is a simple one. Okay, let me go here and see. Script example, right? So the on cell edit will be the last one. On submit and here the on cell edit. See. Let me copy these two things and then we discuss that what the thing has been mentioned here. So what it's saying that if the new value is 1, means if I am changing the urgency to the 1, then I should get a message and save and close become the false. That I don't want to be stored this value. I don't want to be store this operation in my database. This is what, see, on the top I am passing as a true, but when I actually doing my operation, I'm making as a false here. And now click on the save. Now let's go here and reload my list. And let's say now I'm coming here and making urgency as a 1. And okay, see, I'm getting this message. Why? Because I have this code to be written, and after that I don't want this to be stored in the database. So if I click OK, you see it still become a 3. But now if I want to make a 2, no objection. It means here when I click on the 2 and tick this box, my save and close is going as a true and callback is fine. This is what the on cell edit do actually. On cell edit is very good if you want to restrict some operations. So few things you can restrict. Now if I tell you one thing, let me come here like this. Is it be coming from the on cell edit client script? What do you think? This is not coming from the client script. This is coming from the ACL access control list. So on the list view, you can do both things. Client script as well. Client script as well. Plus you can do this thing. ACLs as well. ACLs are so powerful. We will discuss in today, not today, tomorrow's class possibly. It's a very strong thing. Okay, clear everybody till this point. Any doubt? Akshat, Pulkit, Ujjwal, Garima, any doubt? Good. Now the next part, which is important in the client-side scripting, is called the UI policies. Like client-side script or client script has a 4 types. In the same way, UI policy has a 3 actions. Only for 3 actions this has been given. Nothing else it can do. Nothing else it can do. UI policy is used to make any field mandatory. Number 1, read only, number 2, and visible, number 3. Only for 3 operations I used UI policy. Again, from the interview perspective, it is one of the question, and from the CSA examination perspective, this is one of the question. We can do mandatory via client script as well. We can do mandatory via read only via client script as well. But one thing important for the UI policy, even though for the client script, these two only and only work on the form level. If any field which is not available on the form, it will not work. Best example I say, let's say Neha go to, or let's say Neha's son or daughter go to birthday party. Okay. That kid enjoyed the birthday, had a good cake and the wonderful return gifts and all the things. While returning, she asked to that particular person or his friend, can I get a cake for my mom as well? That person said no. This is what the UI policy and the client script says. If the field is not available on the form, you cannot use or you cannot apply the UI policy or the client script on that particular part. Person or the field must be present. I'm again saying not on the table, on the form level. To confuse in the interview ask this question 2-3 times with the different formats and you get confused. He says, I have a field on the table. Can I do the UI policy? You says yes. Come on, no, you cannot do until another field has been added on the form level. There's a one more concept I'm adding and you have to be read. This is called the data policies. UI policy and the data policies are the two different concepts. UI policy is on the form level and data policy when you're bringing any data from the third party sources in ServiceNow via transform map, via integration, via export import. Then you want the field must contain some value is called the data policy. Again, not the part of our I can say syllabus, but it is good to read. Let me take you on the UI policies now. Let's go here and search for the UI policy. Under system definition, I have a UI policies and click on the new. It is very interesting. In the UI policy, two things has been done. One, you have to be define the policy. Second, you have to define the action. And the UI policy is you can use without code. That is good. Drag and drop, checkbox, tick box, done your work. This is what the UI policy says. Okay, so now let's come here. So it says, and also this thing you're able to see, right? This is a part of the question. Sorry, this is a question of the CS examination that when a UI policy executed, when these three conditions met. Number one, a UI policy is active. Number two, condition should be met true. And number three, a specific action should be present on the specific form. See, specific field in the UI policy present on the specific form. So don't get confused. I am intentionally giving the stress on these words so that it should set in your mind. I'm telling you, during the CSA examination, if I put the same question and put OK, select what is the right option or what is the right answer out of these three, or put one more option here, you get confused because I know that it should be on the form, but what is the meaning of that? So in the examination, they ask very specific words, specific questions, and you should have a specific answer on that part. So let's say I want to put on the chain table, and another point, UI policy did not work on the this thing I can say your list view. Okay, so I want to put on the change request. Good. Short description, LNG, hello. Put a good name like make mandatory this, make mandatory those. When to apply? Do you want to put any condition when the change is in this particular state, change in this state or that state or those? So I said no. It means if nothing is there, it is by default considered as a true. If you're leaving this condition because it says that the item in the condition field well is be true. If I'm not putting any condition, it is considered as a true only. Okay. Now I'm not putting these three options as of now. We will discuss. Okay, and now click on the save here. This is the UI policy definition. What is the table name? Table name is sys UI policy dot. This one is a table name. Now I want, let's put this thing. State is new. Let's say so that it is easy for us to be identify this part. Now, if conditions are matching, then what to do? Come down, and this is a UI action, UI policy action. And see, you're getting option called the data policy. Read about the data policy. It is really good. Okay, click on the new here. I want when I am in the new state, then come on, let me log out. Sometime it did not work for me, guys. I tried login, log out, then only it work. Not sure why. It's some issue with my instance. I already reset number of times, but did not work. UI policy. Open this and LNG. This and now scroll down and let's go to the new. This one. Now it says when you're changing the new state, what you want. I want my backout plan should be mandatory. Yes. If it is mandatory, definitely it should be visible. You cannot make it as a invisible. Then how you will write the value? You cannot make it as a read only. Simple. Use some logic. I said I want a glass of water. You bring that water, but you're not giving that water to me. Or you bring the empty glass. Then what I will drink? So now you will, maybe someone says, so is it right? We are saying true, false, false. So let's say true. Let's say true. Let's see what ServiceNow says. No error. Because now ServiceNow has a some rule in the background. Let's come here and let's open a change. Let's open this change. So it is the new state, and what we say, backout plan. See, it become mandatory for me. Even though I said visible false, read only true, or visible false. Let's try again. We'll show you some another magic. Still it is visible and I can write the things. Why? Because this mandatory take the precedence over the visible and the read only. It says not possible. If you are making any field mandatory, then how you can make that field as invisible? You are violating the principle of the mandatory part. There is a number one plan. Now let's go back here on this UI policy. Let me click back. And now we'll discuss these four options. Okay, let me change it to the incident management so that in the incident we are easily traverse on the, or can we maybe move it to this part? Save. Assess. We can move. No, but we'll take for the incident because incident is little easy for us to do. INCID in the incident table. Okay, I'm changing to incident table. I said when state is new, then let me save this and I have to make a change here as well. Let me delete this. Delete. Okay, and now let's say when I'm in the new state, then my category should be, or let's say other field. Your policy is very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, let's say configuration type is wait, let me check if I move to the new in progress, what is mandatory? Let's say here configuration item. Okay, go here. I want when my incident in the new state. Come on. Not sure why. If anybody can find out the reason, then please let me know. Why policies? Now we are going to discuss these 4 options, so these 3 options. Let's make a field mandatory. Incident configuration item. Correlation ID. No. Child closed by this one. Configuration item. And let's see easy one here. Let's take little easy one. Category is already populated, right? Our service we can pick up. Let me take. I want to take a little easy one so that we can do this part easily. Let's say impact. Okay, impact should be mandatory. You can do this part. And now I'm not taking this box, or let's say short description is a good option, right? MNOP, this one. Short description, right? A, B, C, D, description. Mandatory. See. And now let's run this again. Let's get a new incident. Now I'm saying this. Logically, my description should also become mandatory. We did not save it, kya? Save to ki hai. Karo. Why is not going the back page? Now, okay. Mandatory 2. Let me create a new incident. Sometimes it happens, nothing to be worried. When we do R&D, these things happen very regularly. So now you can see description become mandatory. Okay, now if I change the state from new to in progress, and now from in progress I bring new. Wait, it's working, very nice. Let's see why. Okay, let's change the view here. Take advanced view. Yes, let's discuss these 4 options. Now remove and save. This is what I was looking for. Why it's working? It should not work. Let me reload this page and now see the changes. Don't confuse. It is easy. It is easy. So now I'm in the new state. My description is mandatory. If I change the state, from new to in progress, then why it's not changing it? Because condition did not met. Logically, now condition is not matching, then it should be moved out. It should not be mandatory anymore. Why? Because of these options. Number one, it says UI policies. 4 options are available here and rest things are done in the UI policy. Number one, do you want to apply this UI policy on a specific view? Now, question comes, what is view? In layman language, in a proper our mother tongue Hindi, we say view means देखने का नजरिया, देखने का तरीका. If I am a person, I am a human being, Atul Grover, then Neha has a different view on me. Akshat has different view on me. Pulkit has different view on me. Garima has different view on me. But I am a one person. So multiple people has a multiple views. Atul, ठीक है, but why it's in service now? Because there are the cases sometimes I don't want to show a lot of information or a lot of field to any other user. I'm sure I can give in the written that when you get your first computer in your house, then you are a smart person and you create 2 or 3 different accounts. That if sister login, she should able to see the different desktop. If my younger brother login, he should able to see the different page. If my father want to be login, he need to be see the different page. You're doing nothing. You are just creating the different views for them. So this is the another homework I'm giving to you. That do you want to apply this policy on a specific view or the global view? Global means it is applicable for every view. And how you can get the view? Go here. When you if you submit this one, let me say. कहां से रेफरेंस किया इसको? Username say very nice. Chalo. Now click on this. So now this is like this. So now if you click on this, you can see the view. And multiple views are there. So now in the default view, you can see a lot of columns, right? If I change the view, see the number of column will be less and the structure has been changed. See. Because I as a company or I as a customer, I am a service provider. I don't want that my user should be able to see this view, this particular form in a different view. Like if I take an example of this Excel sheet, everybody is able to see only this view. But in the background, I have a different view of this Excel sheet as well. Yes, I have attendance. Everybody is able to see only this view, but I have some pictorial representation in the different view, which I don't want to show you guys. This is what the view here. So this policy, this particular thing says that do you want to apply this policy for all the views? I said yes. Generally, it should be global. Otherwise, you are facing issue. People will be bypassing the things. Like if I say, if you want to enter in any other state from other state, you have to give the toll tax. If you want to save the toll tax, definitely you will take some other wrong way. But ultimately, you are landing some other toll tax only. This is what the view. Now, onload. Do you want this policy should work when the form is loaded completely? True or false? Because I want to show a message. If the short description contains this, then this message should be shown. So it will work after loading only. So you can say onload. I want to show. Generally, we say onload true. And this is important. Reverse if false. If this condition did not match, then don't take the action as well, reverse the action as well. Tick box. And last, inherit. What the meaning of this? Because we are creating, or we are using the field which are coming from the parent table, task table or some other table. And on the parent table, they have some policies. Like in the movies we see, father is dying and he's passing the debt to his kid. This is called the inheritance. Do you want to follow that? I said no. Otherwise, it creates a lot of problem for me. And I'm not sure that what type of policy is already applied on this particular field. So I don't want to do this part. Click on the save. And last one thing which is important, or which we were doing in the UI action. If you scroll down and you can open it again, you can clear the fields as well. It means if conditions are not matching, then please clear that field as well. I don't want to keep the things. And now one more thing, you can add multiple UI action in a single UI policy. But remember, it will work only when the condition is matching. Now let's go and let's change the view first to the default view, and let's get a new record here. It is mandatory, and now let's change the new to in progress. See why it's working, because now we have a reverse as a false, we put it as a true. But remember, UI policy only work on these three operations: mandatory, to make mandatory, read only, and visible. Only these things can be work in the UI policies. Not other than this you can do here. And let's see if I write it here. Sorry, let's say it's a new state. Let's say in progress. Maybe if you save, it will clear the field as well. This is what the UI policies do here. And if you want to convert the UI policy to data policy, you can click here. But generally we don't convert. We always get a new data policy. What the data policy says here, it is important. That make it as a mandatory. In the data policy, what it's saying, data policy, it say when you want to work, I want when I'm importing data from any import set, I'm bringing data from SOAP, that is integration, or I'm bringing in data from the client policies. Then please make sure the description should be mandatory and should not be read only. Here you can do only 2 actions, not the 3 actions. I'm sure 2 actions only you can do. Let's open this. Yeah, so you can do only 2 actions. This is what the data policies. Remember, data policies are only work when you bringing data, but it can be in the background as well. UI policy work on the front end only. And this question can be asked in the interview, plus chances can be come in the this thing. What I can say, examination as well. And if you want to do a little bit work on the view, go here and search for the view. And almost these things you will find in the system definitions. Or better, this one, system UI, open in the views. Multiple view. So what we have is a default. So now you can see default. This one. Let's say pop-up करके big view था शायद. Says pop-up is a view. So now it is important that you should explore Those terms which I'm telling you, these all are the interrelated. These all are the interrelated. If you work, if you use, you explore, only then you will be able to understand that part. This is what we have on the UI policy. Any question, any clarification anybody has? No question. Where is my question set? I noted down some questions for test as well. Ha, chalo, good. Switch on the cameras, guys. Let's have a test. Come on, switch on the camera. बहुत दिन हो गए टेस्ट नहीं हुआ. अरे come on. Akshat, Pulkit, Ujjwal, Garima, Shabrish, Neha. It's a test time. That is why I'm not starting a new topic today. I otherwise need to start the business rule or the UI actions. ठीक है. First question. What type of relationship? And answer it. What type of relationship a user and a role has? One-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-one, parent or child relationship. What type of relationship a user and a role has? One-to-one, one-to-many, parent-child, or many-to-one? इतना तो सोचने वाला है ही नहीं इसमें कुछ. One-to-many. Are you sure, Neha? Pulkit, Ujjwal, Akshad, Shabrish, what do you think? Nahi, Garima, it's not parent to child. No. No. Why? Because how it's a parent to child when there is a record coming from that particular record. In this, both are the separate tables. User is a separate table, role is a separate table. Okay, no problem. Let me try to unmute you if I can. No, even I'm not able to do. Maybe. Okay, leave it. So, Garima, it's not a parent-child relationship. No. Parent-child is incident and incident of parent-child relationship. One parent incident and then child incident. Okay. What is the relationship of role and a group? One-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-many. Welcome, Neha. Still same issue. Tell me, Pulkit, Shabrish, what is the relationship between role and group? One-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-many. Or I should say this thing, sorry. Group and role. These are the questions asked in examination, CS examination, and we get confused. This is, I guess, but I read in the ITSM implementation, group role many-to-many. Pulkit, what do you think? It's a many-to-many. Okay. How user and department are related? How user and department are related? No, I'm talking about the relationship term. How user and department are related with each other. What type of relationship they have? Come on, one user can have multiple departments. Ujjwal, one user can have multiple departments. Pulkit, one user can have multiple department.
Is it possible?
Asking or telling me?
Possible, sir.
How is this possible? Tell me. I intentionally put these words in your thoughts now. Neha, your answer is wrong. Akshad, your answer is right, but in the reverse case, department to user, not user to department. Could you please tell me how it's possible that one to many? One user belongs to only one department at a given point of time. He can work, but actual, or if I need to find out the reports, then he's only part of one, this only department. How a user and a company related. User and company relationship. नया type हो गया वो. That's done. How a user and a company related.
नया वाला बताया latest answer.
One to one. Okay. So out of this, how many of has a one-to-one relationship? User, department, location, and company. Out of these, which have a one-to-one relationship? User, role, group, location, or company. And also one more point. User, location, nahi. User nahi. Location, company, and department always in a one-to-one relationship. Because a user have more than one role, more than one group, and user and role have a one-to-one relationship or can have one-to-many relationship as well. So these are the minute things which asked in the examination. Okay. Where I can find out in case I want to change. Here, come on, you should open the videos. I'm only having a video now. I want to know that or where you need to be go and change if I want to increase my logout time or the time connection timeout of my instance, where I have to make a change. Let's say, not let's say, you have to find out number one and quickly give me answer. You have to tell me where I can go and find out number one, what is the current logout time or connection timeout has been defined or given in my instance. Number two, how I can make a change in that. This is one of the practical question, or this is one of the practical requirement asked by one of my customer in a 3 or 4 years back requirement. 3 or 4 years, 3 or 4 years, I remember, right? 3 or 4 years, right? When we have a password issue as well. Tell me which module I have to be go to make sure that I can see what is that connection timeout has been mentioned and how I can make a change in that. Let's see who is the right, who can give me the right answer. Come on, one more question I have. Ujjwal, come on, what are you writing? Oh my God, sys properties. Ujjwal, what is the property name? Maybe not the exact name. Can you give me the property name as well? And I like that you dig out this option. Not sure that how you Google out something, but yes. Girma, what are you typing for a long time? Or maybe you can speak as well. Ujjwal, speak, no problem. Don't try to speak it. Garima, you can speak, also speak.
So I can try to increase the session time.
But what is the property name? You put up the right thing under sys property, but what is the property name? Try to find out. Okay, last question. What are not including, what are included under the base item? What are included under the base item? Remember base item, what I'm asking here. What are included in the base item? Last question quickly. Either write, either speak. I have no issues. I told you, right, in the CMDB session. Come on, I need an answer, at least one answer I need. Maybe 2, 3, 4 options. How many you know? Please mention. But mention please, otherwise I'll not be able to stop the class today. Neha, tell me. What included or what come under the base item? CI, come on. मूर्ख समझा मुझे बिल्कुल. CI तो है उसके अलावा. Okay, what CI classes? Tell me, okay? Tell me now. Even that's not a CI, but okay, go ahead. What are CI classes, Neha? Get the answer tomorrow, guys. Okay. If you want, I can show you here. Go here and check for the base. Can't get base item. This one. Server, computer, workstation, out of band devices, network gear, printer, commercial, UPS accessories. These are the my base items. Okay. Ujjwal, क्या लिख रहे हो उज्जवल?
So these are called non-technical CIs.
Correct. That is why it's called the base. This is very important. Even though I came to know this thing when I was preparing for my ITSM examination, that there are two type of classes or two type of tables. One is a CMDB and one is the CMDB_CI. These are non-technical, all the non-technical part. Good catch, Ujjwal. Okay, so let me stop the recording. Any other question before I close the recording and take a quick attendance? But